In 1930, as India simmered under British rule, a quiet village in Gujarat became the unlikely epicenter of a movement that would shake an empire. The village was Dandi, a small coastal settlement with no grand buildings or famous history, until one morning in April when a lean, elderly man dressed in homespun cotton arrived, walking barefoot with salt in his hand. That man was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and the journey he had taken, the Salt March, was not just a protest, but a carefully orchestrated act of civil disobedience that would awaken a nation. British colonial law made it illegal for Indians to collect or sell salt, a basic necessity. Instead, they were forced to buy it from government monopolies, heavily taxed despite widespread poverty. Gandhi chose salt not because it was a grand symbol, but because it was common, used by rich and poor alike. On March 12, 1930, Gandhi set out from Sabarmati Ashram with 78 followers, walking over 240 miles to Dandi. Along the way, villagers joined in by the hundreds, then thousands. They walked through fields, past temples, and along dusty roads, chanting and discussing self-rule. It was not just a march, it was a mobile classroom of independence. Among the marchers was a young schoolteacher named Kamala Joshi, a widow who had defied social norms by leaving her village to join Gandhi. She carried no weapon, only a notebook and a spinning wheel. Each night, she recorded the stories of fellow marchers, turning their voices into history. She interviewed farmers who had lost land, weavers whose crafts had been destroyed by British imports, and women who had never spoken publicly before but now raised slogans with pride. On April 6th, they reached Dandi. Gandhi walked into the Arabian Sea at dawn, scooped a handful of salty mud, and held it up to the sky. "With this," he said, "I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire." He boiled the mud, extracted salt, and declared the law broken. Across India, people followed his lead. From Bengal to Punjab, men and women collected salt, marched in protests, and filled jails. Kamala was arrested days later for writing and distributing pamphlets calling for Swaraj, self-rule. She spent months in prison, where she continued writing secretly, on scraps of cloth and paper. Though the Salt March did not immediately end colonial rule, it changed everything. The world watched in awe as Indians challenged empire not with guns, but with discipline and dignity. Gandhi became an icon of nonviolence, and countless unsung heroes like Kamala showed that even the smallest act of defiance could carry the weight of a nation's dream. Years later, Kamala's notebooks, hidden in a clay jar, were discovered, filled with stories of resistance written in Gujarati and smudged with salt. They became part of India's living memory, a reminder that freedom was not won in a moment, but walked toward, barefoot and unbroken.